Hello, I am Muhammad Bilal, and now today I will teach you that how you can host your, if you are a web developer or a web designer, so you can how you can host your HTML, CSS, JavaScript sites for free. With Firebase hosting and with GitHub hosting, there are two methods to do that for free, so I will teach you both. So I will also the thing is that with the Firebase hosting or GitHub hosting, you can only host HTML, CSS, JavaScript sites or React.js sites, or I don't know, but you can't host any PHP site or any Laravel or any backend development site, because for that you need to buy a hosting service for that. So you can't do that for free with the Firebase hosting. You can only host up to JavaScript. You can host your sites. So if you have JavaScript, or if you are using Firebase real-time database or any other database like things, you can host your site. If your site is not using any backend development language like C# or any other, so you can host your site there. So first of all, I will teach you the Firebase hosting. What you have to do is simply you have to go to your web browser and type Node.js and go to the downloads page of Node.js and click on the latest stable version and download the latest stable version according to your system requirements. Just simply click 64-bit, and 64-bit, after clicking the 64-bit, it will be start downloading like this. I have already downloaded, but now that's downloaded. The download is over. So simply just what I will do is I will click on the downloaded Node.js setup. It's taking some time. Okay, the setup is initializing. What you have to do is you have to just click on next, next and next, and default things only you have to install, and after that Node.js will be successfully installed. You have to just click on the default settings, choose the default settings and nothing else. Next, and accept the terms agreement and choose the location, and after that just click on the next, next and next, and it will be installed. As I have already installed, so I will cancel the setup from here. I have already installed the node. So once you install, you have to verify that you have successfully installed Node.js. So simply you can open the command line and type node -v. So you can see that here the version of Node.js which is installed on my system is 14.16. So I have to close the terminal, and now what you have to do is you have to install Firebase command line tools. You can also see the setup that how you have to do the Firebase hosting by typing in the search engine Firebase hosting in Google. So you will find the first link, Firebase hosting, and in that link they have given all the steps that what you have to do. The first step is to install the Firebase CLI. So how you have to install, they have given the command. You can also see verify the command from here, that the command is npm install -g firebase-tools. So you have to copy that command and open a terminal. You can open from anywhere and simply paste that command and press enter. Once you have installed the Firebase tools, I have already installed that, so I will not install, but it will take some time to install, so you have to wait for that. Okay, now it's taking some time. I am simply cancelling it because I have already installed, so I don't want to install it again. So after that you have once you have installed the Firebase tools, command line tools, and Node.js, now you are ready to do the Firebase hosting. What you have to do is that you can use any site to do the Firebase hosting. I have created one. This simple site I will host. This is the site. You can create any HTML, CSS, JavaScript, include anything you want. So now this is locally available, but when I will host that, you can view that from anywhere in the world. You can view that in your web browser, so you can easily access it on your mobile or whatsoever, like any website. Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to create another folder. I have already created, but I will not create it again. You have to create a folder hosted website. You can name that folder according to your preference. You can rename that. Okay, so now I will open that folder, and now you have to open the command line tools from here. Now you have to open. What you have to do is you have opened the command line. You have to open the terminal in that folder, in that directory where you want to host your site. So now what you have to do is first you have to go to the Firebase console, console.firebase.google.com. This is the URL. I will paste this URL in the description also. What you have to do is simply you have to click on the add project, enter your project name. I have given the name as simple site. This is the URL which will be hosted. simplesite.web.app will be your URL. You can change that to any available. For example, simple site 888 is available. 88 is available, so I will save that. So simple site 88.web .app. Here our site will be hosted. You can see that site not found because we haven't hosted yet. Now we will click on the continue. You can enable Google Analytics. What will Google Analytics do? That it will show that how your users are reaching and how many users are reaching, and many different functions will be there. So I will just click on the continue default account for Firebase, and it will just create your project. If you haven't the Firebase account, you can simply log in from your Google account, and the Firebase console will be there. So you can start your project. You can create your project from there. So we will click on continue. Our project is ready. We will click on the continue, and after that, what we have to do is we have to go in hosting. No, sorry, we have to go in storage. We have to enable the storage because sometimes there are issues if the storage is not enabled. We will select any location you can select from here, there is no problem. It's creating a default bucket, and after that we will edit the rules. We have to wait for some time because it's taking some time. After that, what we have to do is we have to go on the rules tab, and we have to change the rules to true. Just click on the publish and the rules will, once the rules are published, now we are ready to do our Firebase hosting. Now I am again opening. We have to just open the command line in the folder where we want to put our hosted files. So what we will write the command is firebase init. So now we are ready to continue. What we will do is click on yes. Now we will select what we want to do from the options. From the down arrow, up arrow, we can navigate here. And now on hosting, once for selecting the hosting, we have to press the space. Once we press space, there is a green static, so showing that now we will press enter. Now we will use an existing project. Click on enter, and it's showing the available projects. The projects I have created in my console. Okay, sorry. So I am doing from another account. So I have to again start from, because I have to log out from my second account and start from that account in which I have created the new project. I can host in any of the projects, but I will prefer to do that from the account on which I have created the new project. I will type the command firebase login, and it will take me to press Y, and it will take me to sign in from my Google account. I will click on allow, and I am now ready to continue from this account. I will just simply type firebase init, and now yes, hosting. I will press space and then enter, and then press enter using an existing project. After that, you can see that simple 88. This is the project we have just created. This project we just created in the Firebase console. You can see that simple site is the project. So now click on enter, and enter the files will be in public folder. Click on Y, yes, and no, I will click on no because I don't want to mix the GitHub with Firebase hosting. You can set up the GitHub later. Project initialization is completed now. We will just close this terminal, and simply you can, for now this is available. This is what is in the public folder index.html. This will be hosted here. So you can understand that anything that will be in public folder will be shown in this URL. For now the site is not found because we haven't deployed yet. but simply we can go here and type firebase deploy. What is present in our public folder, this site will be deployed in at the URL. It's taking some time, it's deploying hosting. Okay, so the deploy is complete. Our site is now deployed at the URL, at this URL. We can copy these. This is the URL. We can simply refresh. Okay, you can see that the thing which was present locally is now hosted. You can access from anywhere, but we don't want to host this default thing. We want our site, our HTML and CSS to be hosted. So what you have to do is just simply copy your index .html and style and every. You just simply copy the files. If there are images, you can also copy them. Simply just copy that structure files which you want to be hosted. We will delete the default files and we will simply paste our files. And now again open the terminal in the project directory, in the folder directory, not in the public folder. Now we don't have to open the terminal in the public folder. Previously we were also not opening, but you have to remember that we have to open in the folder directory. Now just we have to type Firebase Deploy. You have to remember that whenever you want to change your hosted site, you have to just simply go to the public folder and paste your, or you can edit these files also, but you can just I will give you suggestion that you can edit the files in another folder and just simply delete these files and paste your new files, and just go in the project directory, in the root directory of the folder, and open the terminal and just simply type Firebase Deploy. And now you can see that our new files are hosted. It has found the new file, one new file, and it has hosted this file. And now when we will refresh, you will see that our site is now hosted, which was present locally first. So now you can access this URL from anywhere across the world. You will find that URL. You will find this your site in that URL available. simple88.web.app. So that's it for Firebase hosting. Now if you want to host your site through GitHub pages, so the thing is, the drawbacks of that are that your code will be publicly available in your project repository, because you can't do hosting on your private repositories, because if you want to do on private repositories, you have to pay for that. For now we will just discuss for public hosting. First of all, you have to, if the GitHub is not installed, Git is not installed locally on your computer, you have to just type git download, and you have to go to the downloads GitHub downloads page, and simply you have to download for the latest stable version for Windows. And now it will download that. I'm cancelling because I have already downloaded. Simply you have to click on the downloaded file. You have to click on yes, and only you have to go with the default options. Next, next. You can change your editor, but I will go with the default options. Next, next, next. And now it will install. I'm cancelling because I have already installed. I don't want to install that again. Okay. So now after installing Git, you just have to type the command git --version anywhere in the terminal. Okay, you have to open the git bash terminal. Okay, so I think I will have to install the git again because for now it's not responding. That I have to install it again because I cancelled the setup. I think it uninstalled my git which was already installed on my system. It's almost finished. The installation is almost finished. Okay, it's installed. Now I will open the git bash. So you can see that I will type git --version, and that version is git 2.30.2.windows. So what you have to do for GitHub hosting, there are two methods. First, you can create your repository, and after that you can type the commands. Then second is you can just navigate to the folder, and after that, so first of all we will do from creating a repository first. Just go to your GitHub, go to your GitHub profile. If you haven't created already, the GitHub is very beneficial for developers, where all the developers from world share their codes and their solutions and softwares. So it's very important for a developer to have a GitHub profile for his career. Then I think there is something with there is a problem with my internet, so please wait for 1 minute. Okay, so I'm on my GitHub profile, and now I create a repository, simple site. I will create a new repository. You can also create a new repository from here. New repository. Okay. Now I'll type the repository name, simple site. That's available. You can add a description. It's a simple site. You can add an sentence. It's up to you. For now, we will only that. Please remember, you have to make the repository public, because from private repository you can't do hosting. The repository is created. You will see this interface after creating the repository. The available commands are also available here, but I will inform you. So you have to just copy that link, and what you have to do is you can type here. You can open the git bash. You can simply type git clone and paste. I have pasted the URL which I have copied from here. Okay, now this is the, you can see that if you will go to the view and enable the hidden items, you will show the hidden items. You will see that there is a folder git. In this folder all our git configuration is present. So simply what we have to do is we have to copy the HTML site files. Here also remember that in the folder index.html must be present, whether it's Firebase hosting, GitHub hosting. There must be not be a folder, so that in that folder, for example, in that folder index.html will be there, so the hosting will not work. Hosting will only work successfully. There are ways for GitHub hosting that you have to navigate to that folder and the URL of the hosted site, and then you have to open, but it will make the things difficult. If you want simply to open the default hosted to open the site at default hosted URL, you have to paste your files at the root of the folder. In the root of the folder, there must be index.html file, any images, any JavaScript, CSS files whatsoever. So now we will simply close the folder. We will right click and we will open the git bash on that folder which we just cloned. So now git status, this command shows us that what we have updated, what we have deleted. So it's showing that we have untracked files index.html and style.css. We will track them, we will add them, git add -a. So now we will type git status. You can see that the git is not tracking those files. Now we will commit git commit -m. Simple. This is git commit is just simply you can understand it as a message. It's a message which will be shown on the repository along with the updates. Now git push -u origin. You can create any branch, but I will push the changes to git push -u origin master. Now you can see that our files are now updated in the repository. We will simply refresh that repository, and now you can see that along with the message we typed while doing git commit, here is the time. 1 minute ago I have updated the repository, and there is only one commit on this repository, and we are on the master branch. For hosting, what you have to just do is you have to go to the settings. And you have to just create another repository with you have to just create with another branch gs-pages. Now the new branch is created. We are on a new branch. We will just simply go to the settings. And we can see that our site is now published at this URL. We will go to the settings. We will simply go to the settings, and in GitHub pages we will just go to here and we will open that here. You can also host, you can change the branch. You can also host from master branch if you want. We will save, and now our site is hosted from the master branch. Our site is now published when it's free. So you can see that along with my GitHub profile name .github.io .repository name will be the URL of your hosted site. This is what I wanted to show you. Now this was our first method. Now second method is that you don't have to clone the repository. You will create a repository. So what you have to do for that, you have to simply, I am just deleting this repository because I will do that again. Okay, so now what I will do is, I don't want this folder to be cloned from the repository. I want my local folder to be used, to be hosted on the, to be updated in the repository. So this is our folder. We want to push these files on the server on GitHub. So we will just right click on that folder and click on git bash. What we will do is, we will type git init. So git repository is initialized. We will type git status. So what the problem is here, that it's not the added remotely. GitHub doesn't know this repository, that on which repository it has to place this folder. So for that, git status and git add -a. After that we will do git commit -m. It's simply a message which will be shown on your repository files side. After that we will do git. Now we will not do git push -u origin master or git push origin any branch name. What we will do is, we will add our URL. We will let the GitHub know that on which repository we want this folder to be published. So for that we will write the command git remote add origin, and we will paste the URL of our repository. So I'm now creating another repository again. Simple site is my repository name. Now I have created the repository. I will copy the URL and just simply paste shift plus V. Shift plus insert, sorry. Now press enter. Now the git will know that to which repository it will link this folder to our newly created repository. So now git push -u origin master. So now our files are published on the internet, published in our repository, updated in our repository. So now if I will go to that repository and I will refresh, so the same thing happened. Now what you have to do is, you have to go to the settings. If you will make a branch with name gs-pages, it will simply host your site if it has correct index.html and whatsoever. This index.html it will simply host. If you will type, if you will create the branch with gs-pages name, it will simply host your site directly. So you don't have to go to the settings and wait for doing. But you can also host on the master branch. What you have to do is, you have to go to the GitHub pages, and you have to select the master branch from here. You have to save, and after some time our site will be published at this URL. You can see that it will take some time. You have to wait for that. Now our site is published. Yes. Okay, this is the URL, index.html. But you can see the problem that I have to type index.html. Instead I was simply going to if I have created the ds-pages branch, I have simply gone to the exact URL which I want to. So I will type ds-pages. I will go to the settings once again and I will open. I will change the URL to gs-pages. Okay, I have to type index.html. Simply index.html was a file which is being hosted. So our repository is successfully hosted. Our site is successfully hosted. This is a link. You can access this link from anywhere across the world. So that was what I wanted to tell you. You can host your any HTML, CSS, JavaScript files or your any web development project like this on GitHub pages or on Firebase or whatever platform you prefer. But Firebase has a limit of 10 GB. That every time you push your deploy your files on Firebase, so there will be a storage consumption. So GitHub has unlimited. You can change your any GitHub files. So if you want to change your GitHub files, what you have to do is just you have to go in your repository and change your files here. You can paste your updated files or edit your files here, and after that you have to just add your files with the command. You have to learn GitHub for a git for that. You have to type git add -a, simply git commit with the message you want to, and after that git push -gem master. Just this is the command you will enter, and you can then update your site if you want. So this is what I wanted to inform you. Thank you.